say this ain't what I said. Like, you don't get to fucking tell me what to say.
You may be seated. Good morning and welcome, everyone. We are excited to be here and celebrate this milestone with our students. So, at this point, I'd like to ask you to give a round of applause as we recognize our graduates from the Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering and also the Operations Research and Engineering Management programs. I am Dr. Canton Reynolds. I'm the Director of Undergraduate Programs in the Edward P. Fitts Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering. I'll be serving as the Master of Ceremonies for today's commencement. I'm honored to be such a part of a special moment for our students. This is also a special day for me and the rest of the faculty as we watch our spring graduates begin the next phase of their lives. It is exciting and rewarding to see each of them fulfill their dreams. For our undergraduate students, when we started out together this semester in senior design, I told them that if all we've done at the end of the semester is to help them synthesize what they've learned in the department to this point, then we have failed them. Hopefully, we provided a learning environment where you have grown as students and scholars and now move on to be graduates and professionals. We're streaming this live today, and you'll be able to view it at a later date. We are fortunate to be here at the Jane S. McKimmon Center, and we hope that you agree that this is a beautiful place, as it is an important part of our campus that makes this day even more special. Jane McKimmon was a pioneer. She was recognized by multiple governors for her leadership and organizational skills. She firmly believed in continuing education, and in the early 1900s, as state director of the Women's Division of the Farmers Institute, one of only 5 positions in the nation at that time, she led the growth and expansion from 416 women in 14 counties to over 75,000 women of all races in each of the 100 counties in the great state of North Carolina. So given her status as a trailblazer, it is only appropriate that our students' last time as undergraduates on our campus be in a place named for such a remarkable woman. Hopefully we prepared them to blaze the same trails in the same vein as Mrs. McKimmon. The department staff, the ISE ambassadors, and our volunteers hope that this ceremony is memorable, so please ensure that we give each graduate their time to be honored. Also, we'd like for you to consider the folks that will use the facility behind us, so please keep track of your belongings, and if you have any trash, deposit it in the waste cans. So, a little bit about how today will play out. Dr. Julie Swan, our department head, will have some opening remarks and introduce the faculty and staff of the department, as well as the guest speaker, Ms. Bhavna Bratov. Then it will be on to the recognition of our newest graduates. At both the graduate level, will be announced by Dr. Russell King, the FOSCU Distinguished Professor and Director of Graduate Programs, and the undergraduate level, who will be announced by myself. Our students have asked that we keep it brief so that they can spend more time with you, their families, and friends. So we will limit our recognition to students who were not otherwise saluted for their achievements at some point during the year. Some of the other notable endeavors will be available via the projection system. You are welcome to come down the aisle and take as many pictures as you like. There will also be time for pictures afterwards. We will pace it for you and your family, so please take your time. Just make sure that our department photographer, seated up front, has the space to operate. At the conclusion of the ceremony, we'll have space for you to take pictures with the department banner or with the faculty members. And then after that, we will adjourn to rooms 7 and 8, which you can find by taking a left-hand turn out of the room, and we'll have refreshments for everyone to enjoy. So, without further ado, I'd like to welcome the A. Doug Allison Distinguished Professor and ISE Department Head, Dr. Julie Swan.
Thank you, Dr. Reynolds. I am so excited to welcome you here today on behalf of the Edward P. Fitts Department. I welcome you to our spring 2022 department graduation, and for those viewing at home as well. This is a wonderful day where all of our graduates and their families are so proud. The faculty and staff of ISE also share in your pride. You have experienced an event unlike any other in our memorable history, and you have survived. The faculty and staff of ISE share in your pride in that, along with the recognition of the challenges you have recently faced. Now, I often begin with a definition of industrial and systems engineering. Today, I'll ask my families, how many of you know what industrial engineering is? Oh, come on. I hope that our graduates can help in the education of you as we move forward. But in fact, it is something difficult. We often attract students after they come to NC State. How many of you knew coming in the door you were going to graduate from industrial engineering? Oh, that's pretty good, actually. Usually we attract many of them after they come. Industrial engineering is all about making industry better, more efficient, more effective, more equitable, and all kinds of different industries. Manufacturing, transportation, healthcare, new industries that relate to environment, food production and agriculture, really any industry that you can think about. Some of our faculty tackle manufacturing, others look at humans and technology. Many of us focus on systems using data analytics or mathematical and computational tools. We need industrial engineers. Indeed, the world needs industrial engineers to make every field better, every environment, every industry. One of the things I love most about IE is that you can do anything with the degree. You can be a quality engineer at Pfizer, a logistics expert with Caterpillar, go on to work with Microsoft or a hospital. You can go into government, politics, consulting, energy. You can be the president of a company or even a comedian. Yes, we do have some of those on YouTube. We are one of the oldest and largest academic departments of industrial and systems engineering in the US, celebrating over 80 years of excellence with our first bachelor's degrees awarded in 1933. We've been continuously accredited since the beginning of such accreditation in 1948. And contrary to the students' belief, these faculty were not there then. Our graduate program was established in 1948, our doctoral program in 1967, and the first doctoral degree in 1969 under the supervision of Professor Salah El-Maghrabi. We continue to evolve, offering new degrees, including the Masters of Engineering Management, and affiliated degrees such as the Operations Research or MC Integrated Manufacturing and Systems degrees in consultation and collaboration with others. This brings me to the introduction of our faculty and staff. We may also be joined by members of the Ergonomics Center at NC State or members of the Center for Additive Manufacturing and Logistics, both of which are affiliated with ISE. Now, I'll ask you to hold your applause until I've introduced all the faculty and staff here today. We have Karen Chin, Ola Harrison, you can stand for me, thank you. Mike Kay, I saw you somewhere. Russell King, here on the stage with us. Maria Mayorga, Canton Reynolds, Rohan Shearwaker, and sometimes somebody comes in a little bit later, so feel free to stand up and I'll include you as well. Thank you to our faculty who have been able to join us today. Let me also introduce our staff. Debbie Allgood-Staton, Wendy Coleman-Blue, Justin Lancaster, Rob Lassen, Jasmine Petway, Christina Pucci, Danita Taylor, Bailey Olm, Wanda Urbanska, Russell Villard, Karen Welton, Maybelle Yancey, and also affiliated Linda Smith with the Operations Research Program. Did I miss any staff who are here today? Okay, thank you very much. As many of you likely realize, none of this happens without our staff who help the faculty, staff, and students fulfill our mission every day, but especially on this auspicious day. Next, I'd like to discuss mention a couple of noteworthy events from the past year, as well as some of the major professional achievements that have occurred recently. Before that, I'll tell you just a little bit about ISE. Our undergraduate enrollment is now over 350 students, and the university wants us to grow 30 to 40% in the next 5 years. I'm not sure where we'll hold the ceremony when we get to that, but we have some time to figure that out. We now have more than 200 graduate students, including those across the several different degree programs, and even more when we add in the Masters of Engineering Management. Our research expenditures have grown, and our faculty are on the cutting edge of many different areas. Recently, we've also added faculty in data science and sustainability, important areas for industry and for the future. Our faculty are national and international leaders, the thought leaders that create economic development in the city, state, and more. Our laboratories are amazing, and they've only gotten better since we've moved into our new building, Fitzwillard Hall on Centennial Campus, now named in honor of 2 ISE alumni, Ed Fitz and Ed Woolard, and their extraordinary contributions. Many other alumni and friends have also made it possible. Some of our alums refer to it as the ISE building, but there's also CCEE department and the dean in there, so I don't think we can fully say that. But it is named for 2 ISEs. Undergraduate students, Danielle Lewis received a Grand Challenge Scholarship from the College of Engineering, which inspires engineering students to address one of 14 challenges designated by the National Academy of Engineering to improve quality of life. Hannah Bahelu won the Gilman Scholarship from the U.S. Department of State for Study Abroad. The Taproot Senior Design Team tied for 2nd place at a national competition by Taproot just a couple of days ago. Yeah. The Bee Downtown Team and the Spoonflower Team from Senior Design were both selected as finalists in this year's outstanding ISE Capstone Senior Design Project Competition in the nation. They will be traveling to the IISE Annual Conference in Seattle to represent ISE at NC State. Tabitha Gardner, a junior in ISE, received the Faculty Senior Scholar Award from the College of Engineering. We're very proud about that. Alumni, A.J. Cole III was voted to the NFL All-Pro team and played in the Pro Bowl. You can watch a great video on YouTube where he's talking about his statistics. I'm sure his industrial engineering degree helped. Alumnus and department head of textile engineering, Jeff Joins, received the James R. Wilson WSC Board of Directors Award from the Winter Simulation Conference, which is named after Emeritus Professor Jim Wilton from ISE. Tracy Dokes, ISE Distinguished Alumna, and Rashida Hodge, ISE Outstanding Young Alumna, both were selected for the Women in Business Award in the Technology Division from the Triangle Business Journal this year, recognizing their establishment of strong positive reputations in business and community service with outstanding leadership and noteworthy accomplishments. Our Graduate Student Informs organization earned a Magna Cum Laude Award. Shohanuzaman Shohan won the university's 3-minute thesis competition sponsored by the Graduate School and also represented us at the Conference of Southern Graduate Schools. Pavel Pasha Kopriv received the Society of Manufacturing Engineers Education Foundation Wayne K. Graduate Scholarship this year. Debbie Allgood-Staton received the Staff Member of the Year Award from the ISE department. Some of you may know that she has been with this department for 18 years, and this June she will be retiring from ISE along with faculty member Paul Cohen. Both of these will certainly be missed. We also have a staff member who is obtaining a master's degree tomorrow, Bailey Ohm. We're very proud of her as well. Karen Chen, assistant professor, was recently named as a Goodnight Early Career Innovator by NC State University. Rohan Shearwaker earned a University Faculty Scholar Award from NC State's Provost Office, and he will keep that title for life. Well, as long as he stays at NC State, anyway. Paul Cohen and Noor Azalton tied for our C.A. Anderson Outstanding Faculty in Industrial Engineering. And I just love this because it's bookends with Paul Cohen retiring from the department this year and Noor Azalton, our newest member of the professional faculty. And it's really exciting to see students recognizing each of them. Jim Wilton and Ola Harrison were named to the highly cited scientific index for industrial and manufacturing engineering. So you can see that we have lots of exciting things going on here in ISE. And I want to tell you that this would not be possible without your support. You, the students, have contributed across the board in these initiatives and others. You, the parents and family and friends, have supported your loved ones, maybe even doing laundry or giving them dinner, paying tuition. All of this has enabled us to help continuing educating your students and turning them into the leaders of tomorrow. I also thank our donors and sponsors through Senior Design, Enhancement Fund, and even the new building. In truth, we cannot do it without any of you. Let me also remark briefly on the future. I mentioned data science and sustainability to meet the growing demand from industry. And graduates, you can come back and do some professional education or advanced degrees. I mentioned the new master's degree in engineering management, and as we begin to be able to travel more, we will also return to study abroad for our students and graduates. So students, while there may be some of you who would like to forget about us for a little while, don't let it be long, as we want you to continue to be involved as an alumnus, where you will interact with other alumni, provide a lifting hand to the students behind you, or give back in other ways. Ultimately, this raises our reputation and in turn the value of degree, and we all know that we are stronger as a wolf pack when we are a network. Greater than we would be on our own, greater for your involvement and engagement with us. This has been a difficult 2 years for many. You may have lost loved ones or friends or experienced financial hardships. You may have faced aggression or anxiety, but you persevered and got through it. That quality of perseverance may do more for you than any other skill than you have, other than your ISE degree. So today we celebrate your graduation with you, but we do not say goodbye because we know you are still with us. You are part of the wolf pack and you are in our hearts and minds. Finally, it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our graduation speaker, Ms. Bhavana Bartholf. She is the global head of digital and sales strategy in commercial solution areas at Microsoft Corporation. She's been at Microsoft for 20 plus years. I think it's interesting that her bachelor's degrees were in math, physics, and manufacturing engineering, and then she came to us for a master's degree. You can read more about her bio online, but I want to mention that she's a transformational leader, especially focused on helping women succeed, based in part on her experiences in the technology industry. She is also passionate about adoption, and her family is an adopted family where they have 3 children, and she is on the board of the Gift of Adoption. She has many awards, including several from the Charlotte Business Journal and the National Diversity Council. And with that, I introduce to you Ms. Bhavana Bartholf.
Oh my gosh, hopefully all of you can see me when there's a podium. This is as far as I'm gonna go. But thank you, Dr. Swan, for including me. It is, as Dr. Swan mentioned, I'm Bhavana Bartholf. And I am a proud member of the Wolfpack family, and it's such an honor to be here. How is everyone doing today? Let's get a little bit more energy in the room. All of you really excited, right? All right, all the parents seem to be super happy that this is happening today. But I wanted to say it is such an honor to be standing here, given what you all have experienced over the last 2 years, to be able to specially celebrate and honor this graduating class of 2022. Think about your last 22 years, last 22 years, that's my 22 years, sorry, let's put that on hold for a second. But let's think about the last 2 years as Dr. Swan talked about it. It was those 2 years that it tested your resilience, it tested your perseverance, as Dr. Swan mentioned, and it tested your mental health. And that was no joke. I think we really came to appreciate what that was. But here you are today, proud to be sitting here. So let's start off by giving you a round of applause for making it through all of it. I also want to do a huge round of applause because on the other side, sitting in technology at Microsoft, we know how hard, creative, and innovative it was for our educators, especially your faculty and staff, to make education possible in a time that was unprecedented. So a huge round of applause because you wouldn't be here without all of them. And lastly, but most importantly, all of those parents and family members that were wondering when you were actually going to leave their homes, but were there for you and are still here for you to celebrate you and everything that you've been able to accomplish. So let's make sure we give them a big round of applause because none of that would have happened. And I'm excited, as I mentioned, it's been 22 years since I've been on that side of the fence. I mean, yes, I was 10, so no need to judge how long I was. But it was 22 years ago when I was sitting right there, hopeful, big dreams, and really looking at the possibilities that were endless in front of me as I was going into my future. But I also remember that sense of pride and accomplishment, like I made it. I got this far. And that meant I've proven to myself that I can accomplish a heck of a lot more. I want to share a little bit of background. So I actually grew up in India, and as many of you know, it's a country where gender-specific roles and expectations prevail. And I had the unique opportunity of growing up with my grandfather. He was a self-made man, progressive for his times, and loved engaging in many thought-provoking, rich, and fascinating conversations. One very defining moment for me happened when I was 11, when he asked me what my religion was. A very taboo topic to be talking about. And I remember my confusion, because I was wondering, like the last time I checked, I was his granddaughter, but I said, I'm a Hindu, just like you. And he asked me why. Now I thought he was messing with me, so I was like, I'm just gonna play along. And so I was like, because I was born one, like the rest of this family. And he said, is that what you believe? Is that what you choose? That question, is that what you choose, sat there with me. Now I remember I remember thinking, Mom's gonna be pissed at this conversation. But I realized, like, I had the choice. I mean, I had the right to choose. And I said I didn't know at the time. And he said, well, if you're going to choose, I want you to go educate yourself about all the religions that are out there. I want you to be curious and lean in. And I want you to decide what actually works for you. Don't do what everyone else is doing. I want you to choose because you have taken the time to understand it. That's when I realized I had the power of choice. I mean, I could do anything I imagined if I was willing to lean into the discomfort that comes with the vulnerability of focusing on yourself. It's when I learned the importance and the power of self-advocacy. So what does that mean? So here I am, as I mentioned, 22 years later in business. And I thought that I had it all. Big dreams, bold ambitions. And I will say what was interesting, I prided myself in also being one of those, and I kudos to all the mothers in this room, in being able to do it all. Being a mom, a wife, a daughter, a sister, a friend, a granddaughter, an employee. Just saying all of that just was exhausting, but it was exhausting, right? We started focusing on everybody else. And I will say, it took 6 months into the pandemic, similar to many of you, when your personal and professional lives were in overdrive. As we all witnessed people suffering across the planet, as we all watched COVID unfold. But for me, it forced me to actually pause and slow down. And during that time, what I realized is appreciating those little things in life. Bedtime with my kids, and I'm super excited. My children get to actually be here today, and this is such a special treat for them. realizing the importance of our health. For me, a huge appreciation to all of the educators, because I was a horrible homeschool teacher. But it was also appreciating, what was really happening. What happened to that little girl? Why was I so exhausted? And I realized I was exhausted not because of the pandemic, long before, because we stopped focusing on ourselves. We think we are, but we let life happen around us. And I realized something needed to change. I needed to rediscover that little girl. I needed to find my purpose again. And your purpose is extremely important, and I want to kind of really emphasize that. And I realized that I needed to figure out what I actually needed. And so through several conversations, I realized I wasn't alone. A lot of people in the professional world, and actually a lot of you actually in graduate school, because I mentor a lot of folks that are early in career, just in their master's programs, that were all experiencing that confusion. And a lot of it, really, I realized through all of those conversations, a pattern emerged: the importance and the need of self-advocacy. We were all uncomfortable with it. We all struggled. Women especially, we thought there was that confusion between, am I being selfish? Am I, can I really self-advocate, and what are people going to think? And then there was the fear of the unknown. If I do this, then what will happen to me? So it led me to kind of really spend a little bit of time on why this was so important. And I went through the process of what does it take for someone to get comfortable? And I'll just say psychologically, it is not comfortable. Every person struggles. That's the big secret. Everyone, regardless of how successful they are, how confident they seem, we struggle with it because we forget. And so I want to give you just a few lessons that I've learned along the way, and this was a good reminder for me, especially as I paused through and went through the pandemic. The 5 things. So the first step is really about imagine you can. You can't be what you can't see. That's, I love that quote. It's by Marian Wright Edelman. And it's so foundational in helping you recognize your potential and your ability to dream. What did you want to be when you grew up? There's someone who's little over here. Hopefully, do you have big dreams? No? You don't want to share it. It's fine. It's fine. Anyone else? Dr. Swan, what did you want? A doctor, all right. She is a doctor, so let's give her a round of applause. She made that happen. But I think the whole thing is when you imagine you can do something, that it's that confidence, that fire. And a lot of us, I will say, like, my imagination, I wasn't as well planned as many of you here. When I was young, I loved DC and Marvel comics. I'm just going to say I'm so glad they actually made movies in my lifetime. But and then I was raised to embrace girl power, so I obviously wanted to start my own secret society of female superheroes. I don't know what any of you else of you want to do, but I've met many of them along the way. And what's important is, what I'm asking you to really remember, and each of you as you're graduating and sitting here and thinking about it today, I want you to remember that fire inside of you, that confidence. And that's what I'm asking you to reignite. You've made it this far, and you've got to keep that fire going. And I want you to simply imagine the possibilities as you go out there. The second one that you're going to have to get really good at is honoring and sharing your journey. All of us in life get there on our own. Our journeys are very unique and different. And sometimes we focus on spending our lives comparing ourselves to others. We focus on our shortcomings. But to be really honest, your authentic story and your journey, your truth, is actually what makes you stronger. It's what makes you unique and makes you you. And so remember that you've got to learn how to share that story and get comfortable about the person you are. And sometimes your toughest and your darkest times are actually what makes you stronger. For me personally, it is. It was when it validated my strengths. It's when it validated my capability. And it actually was the times I had the biggest growth as an individual and as a person in my career. My youngest daughter, Ellie, is at the back, and I know she's going to be so embarrassed as I make this statement. But when she was little, she'd always say, "It's amazing to be me." And so for Halloween, she'd be Ellie dressed up in her ballet outfit, or Ellie, and it was great as a parent because I didn't have to shop for Halloween clothes. But I love that, right? That sense of pride of everything about you is what makes you you. And so embrace that. The next thing that you're going to do is, and all of us love this, right? The power of choice, but it's the voices in our head. You can actually learn to, recognize a greater range of choices and options when you're actually willing to practice leaning into your fear. There's a significant amount of discomfort that comes from the fear of the unknown. It's that voice in your head. I call mine Sherlock because I love a British accent, but he's super, analytical and a, champion of all the what-if scenarios. And I know many of you have those voices in your head that are worried, cautious, telling you shouldn't, couldn't, can't do things. But that voice, it dominates our thinking, and we quickly lose the ability to actually see the choices in front of us. Now, we'll never get rid of the Sherlocks in our head, just to be honest. My husband's a psychologist, so I'm just going to put it in that context, right? But the reality is that power, that voice only has the power you give it. So what I would encourage you to do is, instead of investing your time and energy into avoiding your fear, I'm going to encourage you to lean in and engage in the preparation and research. As my grandfather said, be curious and go educate yourself. And figure out what's important to you, and most importantly, what it is you actually fear. And take the time to recognize it, because once you do, you'll be surprised. When you actually have the power of the choices and you recognize what your options really are, you're in control and you're empowered. Don't give that power to somebody else, and don't let someone else take it from you either. Now, the most important thing that I've talked about so long is the importance of asking for what you want. There's a famous quote which is attributed to John Wayne. Courage is being scared to death, but saddling up anyway. Courage is literally not possible without fear. And everything I've talked about so far is really learning how to embrace your fear. And when you do, this step of going and asking and advocating for yourself, and you'll do great when you start off in your careers. It just starts to dwindle as you kind of get further along. But it's important to remember that. And so when you do, I want you to remember 3 things. Be clear. You don't live in a world of mind readers. I want to be very clear on that, right? So make sure when you're asking for something, you actually spell it out. Be bold. If you're going to go out there, my grandfather used to always say, seize the day and live every day like it's your last. So make that ask worth it. And finally, for all the women in the room, I'm just going to call this out. Don't over-explain yourself. Let's start getting comfortable with the silence that comes after, and let them process and respond. We don't have to justify ourselves to everybody. And as I kind of bring those 5 steps to a close, at the end of the day, don't go at it alone. We all need our people. We need them for validation, for encouragement, for support. Surround yourself with people that actually uplift you, people that bring out the best in you and that are there for you in both the good and the bad. And all of these folks are sitting here in the room celebrating you all because they've been there through all of it. Appreciate them and continue, and as Dr. Swan said, the university is always going to be here for you. So maybe make sure that you come back and you show that support that they've given you as well. And I wouldn't be remiss if I didn't say the importance of having sponsors, mentors, coaches, allies is extremely important. And every single one of you can actually be a strong ally for somebody else. And the importance of allyship in a world that still has social injustice, that still doesn't have gender equity, is extremely important. And I want you to think about the role that each of you can play. Now that I've kind of given you my secrets to self-advocacy, and I'm actually very confident that every single one of you could do this, I want to talk about why I talked about this is important in the world. So it's important for you individually as you continue to go in your careers and do big things. But it's also important for the rest of the world. The world is changing at a pace faster than we can keep up with it. And you've actually proven that you are resilient and, as Dr. Swan said, survivors through all of it, which means you have the ability to actually create a future, which is a future that you want to see, a world that you believe is fair, and a world in which we can make a huge difference. So we're at a pivotal moment in history where I want you all to seize this momentum in which you've started and you've brought things to life in really, disrupting inequities, fueling systemic change, and creating a world that embraces everyone. Your future is bright. You all have the ability. You have endless possibilities. You're going to be inspiring people. And most importantly, you will change the world for the better, and we're confident about it. So I ask for you all to just simply imagine what's possible if you all did. Thank you again, and congratulations to this class.
And Dr. Reynolds will be taking it next, but I did notice while I was sitting there that we do have a lot of people in the room. So for those who would like to, you are certainly welcome to wear a mask. I try to consider, what others around me are doing, because I never know how vulnerable someone might be. So depending on how close I am to others today, I will use mine or not use mine. Now I'm going to turn it over to you.
So at this time, we will recognize our newest graduate students, who will be announced by Dr. Russell King, the FOSCU Distinguished Professor and Director of Graduate Programs. Dr. King.
Okay, so this is always fun for me because this is one of only 2 days a year I get to wear this hat, so at least in public. So what I'm going to do is call out the graduates in the various degree programs. We do have some degree programs where we don't have graduates today, but I'll get the ones we do have. So starting out with the Master of Science in Industrial Engineering. Let's see, Sean, if you guys want to come up. You guys can go ahead and line up. So this is the thesis degree. First graduate is Sean March from the U.S. Coast Guard. Okay, next is Younghao Zhang. Okay, moving on now to the Master of Industrial Engineering degree. First off is Elizabeth Dill. And next is Hermesh Gandhi. By the way, it's acceptable for the graduate students to have some whoop whoops, so keep those going. Okay, next is Nikki Gorell. One of the things about being around as long as I have, you have situations like this where you have a graduate who is the child of one of your former graduates. So next is Benjamin Howie. Okay, next is AJ Narayan. Dipti Patel. Okay. Ankit Shah. Next is Yadavali Vaishnavi. Next, Ye Yi Kwan. Gregory Young. Our next graduate completed our distance education program, Casey Darden. Okay, I'll move on now to the Doctor of Philosophy and Operations Research. And again, due to age, this happens to be one of three I can think of graduates who is the spouse of a former graduate of mine, so Gregory Hooser. Yes. Part of the process for the doctorate is the hooding of the graduate, so we're going to de-hood him and then hood him again. Just hold the hat. Okay, the next degree is the Master of Operations Research, and our first candidate is Srinivasan Balan. Next is Juliana Penn. And next is Dimitra Protogiru. Finally, we have our relatively new degree, the Master of Engineering Management. We have two graduates today with us. Alexandra Gardner. And finally, Delshad Zakir. Let's give one more big round with some whoop whoops.
So thank you, Dr. King. So, the moment a lot of you have been waiting for. Next, we will recognize our Bachelor of Science degree candidates. Will you please stand and file to the left? Yeah. Yep, just the first row. Yeah. Yep, right there. Go. Madison, go ahead. Yeah, so you are able to come up for pictures, and we will take our time as we go through the names. Okay, let's get started. Moad Al-Wakil. So she's not here. Jonah T. Andrews. Joseph A. Barnaby. Hannah Bauer. Rachel Boswell. Kyle Browning. Rob Butler. Claire Carter. Jocelyn Chase. Catherine Chirichillo. Matthew Clayton. Okay, we get it together. Cat L. Cobb. Matthew Coffey. No, Dan, come on up front. Dan Koglazer, come on up front. This is the second daughter you've had come through this program. Come on up front. So Dan and I used to work together at IBM, and his first daughter didn't have this opportunity because of the pandemic, so we're going to let his second daughter enjoy it. Miriam Koglazer. John Corley. Madison A. Crick. Chase Del Charco. Love the bow tie. Oh, the eyes. Luke Duvall. Matthew T. Dowd. Axel J. Flores Roman. Sydney Floyd. Congratulations. Grace Green. Congratulations. Wesley C. Hankinson. Our resident songbird, Rachel C. Harris. Jason Hohe. Congratulations. Kyle House. Congratulations. Alec J. Karam. Brenna Kinney. Abby Lamp. Sorry. Abby Lampy, sorry. So sorry. It is. Abby Lampy, my apologies. 64 names on the sheet. Miriam LaRusi. Hey, you don't stop by us.
Yes, ma'am.
Jackson R. Law. Ian C. Lawrence. Jessica Lee. Flavio C. Leon. Brendan C. Little. Maria H. Mackey. Amrita Malur. Stacy McDearman. Thad McInnes. Molly McLean. Sophie Minnick. Geraldo Morado. Anna Najar. Micah T. Perry. Joseph Probrica. Carol Pollock. Saish Prabhu. Thomas W. Quinn. Chayudi T. Rojanasunthon. Sarah Russell. Melissa Syed Azand. Congratulations. Brian A. Scott. Philip Sellers. Congratulations. Jordan Shore. Congratulations. Connor Simpson. Congratulations. Evelyn Stussy. It's not my fault, it's spelled wrong. It's spelled wrong. Lily Sullivan. Congratulations. Julie Talbot. Oh, sorry, Lily. No, that's Julie. That's Julie. Yep. Anna Tavernaro. Hannah L. Teeters. Melissa Tennant. Christopher Toy. Congratulations, Chris. Rima Trimac. Lydia Underwood. Gio Vachani. And last but not least, Eneko H. Zubizarreta. Wow. That is a lot. This is one of the first times that I've seen students at the undergraduate level come all the way through, right? So I started out with some of you as freshmen, and to see you leave now, it is a lot. Very proud of you. So, before we have one last applause for our graduates, early this week at the Order Engineering Ceremony, we recognized some of our most recent graduates who may be in the audience that did not have a graduation experience like this due to the pandemic. So I'd like to do that today. So if there are any of our recent graduates, please stand. All right. So finally, on behalf of our students and the faculty and staff, we want to recognize the families and friends and the others who've supported our graduates and been with them during this journey in NC State. So, thank you. So, as we conclude the program, what I'd like to do is have the graduates rise. You may now move your tassels to the left side of your caps. Congratulations. We look forward to seeing you visit us in the future and wherever your career endeavors may take you. Thank you to the class of 2022. We hope you enjoyed some time in this space in room 7 and 8. And we'd like for you to stick around. Introduce us to your families and the friends that were participating with you today. And then as you depart, safe travels as you return to your homes. We wish you all the best moving forward. And do not hesitate to reach out, keep in contact as your careers grow and you conquer new challenges. So, another round of applause for our graduates. We have concluded today's graduation ceremonies. Thank you.